All the participants who are outside the hall are kindly requested to please assemble inside and be seated in their seats. I repeat, all the participants who are there waiting outside are requested to please come inside and be seated. Thank you.
Hello, check. Hello. Mic off, Anna. Hello. Hello, check. Hello.
A very good morning to one and all. Welcome to the inaugural ceremony of the 2024 International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems ICEMPS 24. Futuristic Technologies and Sustainable Solutions, organized by Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Mount Basilius College of Engineering and Technology, and co-sponsored by IEEE Kerala Section and APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Anything well begun is half done. So, let's begin by seeking the blessings of the heavens. Kindly rise for the prayer song by Ms. Devi Priya.
Thank you, Priya. May I now invite Dr. Visvesvaraya, Head of the EEE Department, MBCET, and Tutorial Chair, ICEMPS 24, for the welcome speech.
His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Smart Polycarpus, Honorable Additional Chief Secretary Sri K. R. Jyotirlal, Dr. Abraham T. Matthew, Principal MBCET, Reverend Father John Varghese, Dr. Bijna Kunu, Dr. K. Biju, and all other dignitaries on and off dais. A very good morning to all. The Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering is extremely delighted to welcome all the dignitaries on and off the dais who have assembled here to grace the inaugural function of the 2024 International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems, technically sponsored by IEEE Kerala session and co-sponsored by KTU and MBCET. The 3-day conference commencing today on the theme Futuristic Technologies for Sustainable Solution has around 106 delegates from India and around 5 international participants, 3 from US, 1 from Malaysia and 1 from Slovenia, participating in online mode. Let me take a few seconds to introduce our college and department to the delegates. Marcellus College of Engineering and Technology, MBCET, was established in the year 2002 by the major archdiocese of Trivandrum of the Malagara Catholic Church, with a novel objective of providing quality technical education at degree and postgraduate levels. Currently, our institution offers 7 BTech programs, 7 MTech programs and PhD programs, 5 BTech programs, Civil Engineering, Computer Science Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Electrical and Electronics Engineering and Mechanical Engineering are accredited by NBA since 2016. The college has been accredited by NAAC with A grade with CGPA 3.13 in 2016 and valid till 2025. The college was conferred with autonomous status by the University Grants Commission in the year 2020. The Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering offers 2 BTech programs, one in Electrical and Electronics Engineering and the other new program in Electrical and Computer Engineering, one MTech program on Power Control and Drives. Department is an approved research center of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. With a vision to be a center of excellence in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, the department always tries to organize various technical events to equip our graduates along with the curricular activities. The department has MOUs with research centers like CDAC, Tata Elxsi, Space Labs, EMC and Vaidyuti Energy Services. To bridge the gap between academia and industry, A product development center by Hyken India Limited started functioning in our campus recently. The International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems is a premier conference being organized as a follow-up of presiding mega events of IEEE ICAGE in year 2014, IEEE PEDES 2016 organized by the department. The department hopes ICEMPS as a platform for the research scholars, students and professionals to meet the leading expert in the field of circuits, systems, control, electrical vehicles and power and energy systems. With a rich mix of programs of keynote lectures, tutorials, technical sessions and so on, ICEMPS 2024 will surely be a unique and exciting experience for our students as well as the delegates. Now let me get into the duty of welcoming all dignitaries to the inaugural ceremony. Today's inaugural session is presided over by our principal and general chair of the conference, Dr. Abraham T. Matthew. As head of the institution, he is guiding us to the greater heights in technical education since the year 2020. Being an electrical engineering graduate and former faculty and registrar of MIT Calicut, he has vast experience in the field of technical education and electrical engineering. He is also part of our department. As organizing chair, Sir gave us timely guidance and suggestions to the minute details on all matters, giving us confidence to successfully organize this conference. On behalf of MBCET and organizing committee, I welcome you, sir, to preside over this function. Today, we are blessed with the gracious presence of His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Smart Polycarpus, Auxiliary Bishop of Major Archdiocese of Trivandrum. Being the former faculty and principal of Mar Ivanus College, he is closely associated and attached to our campus. He is always willing to bless our campus with his presence in midst of all his activities. It is my greatest privilege to welcome His Excellency to this inaugural ceremony. On behalf of MBCET and the conference organizing committee, heartily welcome His Excellency. Our chief guest of the day, Sri K.R. Jodhilal IAS, 1993 batch IAS officer, is currently Additional Chief Secretary, General Administration, Power and Forest Wildlife Departments. Armed with BTech from IIT Madras and MBA from ICFI, Mr. Jodhilal has early the Collector of Trivandrum and Kannur and held the portfolios of IT, Transport, Revenue, Printing and Stationery, Scenic Welfare, Taxes, Agriculture, Animal Husbandry, Fisheries, Food and Civil Supplies, Tourism, Parliamentary Affairs, Ports, Aviation, among others. He has been instrumental in projects related to high-tech agriculture, Smart City Kochi, KMRL, KMTA, Kannur Airport, e-mobility and hydrogen economy. We indeed blessed with the presence of our Additional Chief Secretary, Sri K.R. Jodhilal, to inaugurate our conference. On behalf of MBCET, I offer heartiest welcome to you, sir, to the inaugural session. Dr. Bijina Kunju K, Vice Chair of IEEE Kerala Session and Professor, Department of IIE, TKM College of Engineering, is a part of our conference as Technical Program Chair. We received many of your valuable advices during various stages of this conference. On behalf of MBCET and Conference Committee, I cordially invite ma'am to the inaugural function. We are indeed happy to have the presence of Dr. Biju K, Assistant Director Research, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. He is Secretary of IEEE Kerala Session and also one of the organizing chair of our conference. He shared his expertise and helped us a lot with his valuable suggestions in organizing this conference and also channelizing the financial sponsorship from KTU. On behalf of MBCET and Conference Committee, I cordially invite Sir to the inaugural session. Our bursar and patron of the conference, Reverend Father John Varghese, was always been with us, supporting and encouraging activities beneficial to the students, faculty and society in totality. He has given us all the help in organizing this event. We welcome you, Father, to bless this inauguration. Our Vice Principal, Dr. S. Vishwanatha Rao, has always been encouragement and inspiration to all the activities of our college. His constant care, support and timely advice has always been our motivation and confidence. We welcome you, sir, to grace this occasion. Our Assistant Bursar, Father Thomas Mugalamburat, supported us with his timely advice and always with us in organizing this event. Welcome you, Father. Dr. Shalu George K., Associate Professor of the Department, is organizing chair of the event. Shalu and team, our department team worked very hard to organize this event. I welcome Dr. Shalu to this occasion. We are blessed with the presence of the representatives of our sister institution and Mr. Suresh Babu, representative of Icon India Limited. We welcome you all to the gathering. On behalf of the department, we also welcome our deans, all HODs of all other departments, senior professors, MBCET alumni representative Ms. Jisha, and other members of department and our students who are assembled here to grace this occasion. We received around 400 papers in the various technical tracks of this conference, and the contribution, I sincerely acknowledging the contributions given by the various faculty members of the different institutions and our institutions for timely reviewing our papers, and I welcome all of them in their absence. Once again, I welcome all you to this event, and I am concluding this session with speech with seeking blessings from Almighty. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite Dr. Abraham T. Matthew, Principal, MBCET and General Chair, ICEMPS 24 for the Presidential Address.
Respected His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Smart Polikarpos Tirumeni, our Chief Guest and an accomplished administrator, Sri K.R. Jodhilal IAS, Dr. Bijana Kunyu, Vice Chairperson IEEE Kerala Section, Dr. Biju K., Assistant Director Research KTU, and Advisory Committee Member of the Conference, our beloved Bursar Father John Varghese, Assistant Bursar Father Thomas Mugalamburat, Bursars and heads of the sister institutions, Vice Principal Dr. S. Vishwanatha Rao, Dr. Elizabeth Varghese, HOD of IEEE Department and the Tutorial Chair, Dr. Shalu George, Organizing Chair, Honorable Deans, Heads of the Departments, ICEMPS Organizing Team, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished delegates joining online and offline, our guests, invitees, reputable members of the media, beloved students and student volunteers, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. We are indeed very proud to host the International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems 2024 on our campus. In fact, this inauguration today marks the culmination of our work for more than a year, right from the planning to the final scheduling of the technical sessions and the innumerable communications between us and IEEE and the contributing authors. We believe that this conference could attract worldwide attention because of the relevance of the title in the current scenario, and the receipt of more than 400 submissions exemplifies that. The technical sponsorship given by IEEE with the magnanimous recommendation of IEEE Kerala section has enabled the conference to go up in the value chain. So let us congratulate the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of MBCET for making an indelible mark in the history of MBCET by securing an international attention. So we are grateful to the IEEE Kerala section for the support in this regard, especially Professor Qasim, section chair, Dr. Bijana, section vice chair, Dr. Biju K, the secretary, and the conference advisory board for accepting our proposal. We are also grateful to APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University and the MBCET Alumni Association for this financial sponsorship. We are sure that these days will be tracked active discussions and deliberations in the research and development in the area of e-mobility, power control and smart systems. I will try to throw some light on the background on the selection of the conference theme in a very short time. Over the past few decades, the world has witnessed an unprecedented rise in the technology, leading to significant changes in our everyday lives. From person-to-person communication to healthcare to Industry 4.0, the technology has transformed almost every aspect of our life. However, as we move forward, the role of technology in achieving sustainability goals also has become increasingly important. Otherwise, humanity is likely to be in peril. So, we must actually look for the option of having the cake and eating it too. Our research should be guiding us in the selection and use of technology that would entail a sustainable future. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals lay out a blueprint for a sustainable future for all. The goals seek our interventions to cover a range of issues from poverty to justice and a proactive collaborations to achieve these goals as well. Technology plays a crucial role in achieving each of these goals. Engineering would obviously be in the line of practice because enablement of technology comes only with the engineering and the multidisciplinary knowledge that we need to drive the developments. We need to have the complete life cycle of engineering in the implementation of the solutions to achieve these goals, starting from ideation to innovation, manufacturing, deployment, improvisation, and so on. As a user and promoter of technology, our college finds it quite appropriate to create platforms for discussion on the emerging issues and challenges in our world of work. The present conference is addressing three sectors of e-mobility, power control and smart systems, which comes primarily under electrical engineering. There are other conferences being scheduled by other departments of our college addressing the topics that are relevant in their domains of specialization. Our college is committed to push the academics to the edge. The topic of e-mobility addresses the engineering and technology related to vehicle, passenger safety, comfort, logistics, energy economics, environmental sustainability, communications, traffic and transportation engineering, and so on. So, in the context of sustainable development and socio-economic advancement, the scope of e-mobility and related studies is much higher. Power control is a new terminology to deal with the areas related to electricity generation and utilization. The concept of synchronous power system has given way to hybrid and highly nonlinear energy systems. Even though electricity continues to be the versatile form of energy, the technology and the related engineering have become highly disparate and dynamic, necessitating research and development much more than what we have done so far. Power electronics and smart grid technology signifies a revolutionary stride in technological advancements, offering a cutting-edge approach to power distribution network. By harnessing innovative digital communication and control systems, these advanced grids not only optimize energy allocation but also revolutionize how energy is managed and utilized. Integrating technologies like artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things and data analytics within the smart grids enable real-time monitoring, predictive maintenance and adaptive energy distribution, transforming the conventional grid into a dynamic, responsive, efficient and smart network. Thus, the amalgamation of cutting-edge high technologies into grid systems not only enhances efficiency but also lays the foundation for a more sustainable and intelligent energy infrastructure. This paradigm shift not only ensures a resilient and eco-conscious network but also represents a significant leap toward a more interconnected, efficient and environmentally friendly technological future. Smart systems is much more than smart grid. It encompasses the smart manufacturing, smart health, smart infrastructure and so on. In the era of Industry 4.0, smart systems are powered by the artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, superior automation systems and so on. Essentially, it is the mechanism of localized intelligence and decision-making capacity to function effectively and efficiently without human intervention, but with the highest accuracy and precision. Our conference will be addressing some of these aspects and the concurrent research, basically in the academic institutions and R&D institutions. This will be blended by the lectures by industry experts and leading academicians. We trust that the deliberations will be truly enriching the delegates, faculty and the students. We are glad that our chief guest Dr. Sri K.R. Jodhilal IAS has dealt with many of the key areas that come under our theme in his capacity as the senior administrator in the government, and sir may be sharing his first-hand experience in actually implementing new technologies in our state. We are grateful to Sri Jodhilal sir for having accepted our invitation. His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Matthews Polycarpos is a linguist and a professor of French, and His Excellency always finds time to learn new things. His Excellency guides us in our academic pursuits as the member of the governing body and as a member in the management team. We are blessed by the presence of His Excellency. Our guests of honor are young people of eminence in their own domain of work, and they continue to contribute through their hard work and dedication. Dr. Bijana is the Vice Chair of IEEE Kerala section and a Professor of Electrical Engineering. Dr. Biju K is known for his multitasking capacity and hard work. He is the Assistant Director of Research of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Dr. Biju has been very supportive in organizing this conference from the planning stage itself. The idea of this conference was taken up by Professor Nisha GK when she was the HOD of Electrical Engineering Department more than a year back. Dr. Nisha could constitute the team and submit the proposal to IEEE for approval. The preparations were taken forward by the new HOD, Dr. Elizabeth Varghese, along with Dr. Shalu George and the energetic team of faculty and staff of our Electrical Engineering Department. Of course, the support from the management has been there 100%. We are overwhelmed with the joy on this occasion when we are gathered here to witness the inauguration of the conference. Our call for conference has reached all over the world, and we could get technical papers from USA, China, Singapore, Malaysia, Europe, Oman, Philippines and Indonesia, amounting to 145 papers, but we have rejected almost 90% for want of quality. From India, we have received 278 papers. We selected only around 30% after the double-blind review. We must appreciate the effort of the technical review team and the large number of reviewers spanned across the country who have helped us in the rigorous review process in spite of their busy schedule. As the General Chair and Principal, I am deeply indebted to the team of organizing committee members under Dr. Elizabeth Varghese, Dr. Nisha GK and Dr. Shalu George for the sleepless nights they have spent in organizing this conference and arranging all the items on time. We are grateful to our patron, His Beatitude Moranmar Basilis Cardinal Clemis Catholicus, for the permission to host the conference. We gratefully acknowledge the guidance and support from His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Matthews Polycarpos, Auxiliary Bishop of the Major Archdiocese of Trivandrum. We acknowledge the guidance and support from our Bursar Father John Varghese, Assistant Bursar Father Thomas Mugulambarat, and the Secretary of the Malangara Catholic Educational Society, Reverend Father George Matthew Karur. We also acknowledge the collaboration and guidance from our sister institutions. We also place on record our gratitude to the advisory committee and the subcommittees of the conference. On behalf of the organizing team, I express our love and gratitude to our Vice Principal, Deans, HODs, senior professors, senior officers, faculty, staff and students, and all who have extended support and guidance for us in various ways in the conduct of the conference. Let us look forward to very fruitful deliberations and debate in these 3 days, so that we will be able to frame our recommendations at the end of the conference and submit the same to the academic community and the government, so as to provide more impetus to the studies and research connected to the topic of the conference for furthering our objectives of resilience and sustainability. We wish a joyful time for all the participants and delegates. We thank all our sponsors, well-wishers and our guests of honor for their presence and support. I conclude by seeking your attention to the words of wisdom. Robert Swan said, the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Peter Drucker said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So let us pledge to work for a better future by putting our heads together. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now, let us advance to commence the inauguration of the International Conference with the lighting of the lamp. I respectfully invite His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Matthews Mar Polycarpos, Auxiliary Bishop, Major Archdiocese of Trivandrum, to formally inaugurate the International Conference by lighting the lamp and to deliver the benedictory address thereafter. Also, I humbly request Sri K.R. Jodhilal IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, and all other esteemed dignitaries on the platform to join in.
Distinguished Principal, Dr. Abraham T. Matthew, respected Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, Sri K.R. Jodhilal, IAS, Dr. Biju K., Assistant Director, APJ-KTU and Secretary, Dr. Bijina Kunyam, Vice Chair, IEEE Kerala Section, Reverend Father John Varghese, Assistant SR, Reverend Father Thomas Magalumburat, Vice Principal Dr. S. Viswanatha Rao, esteemed resource persons, teachers, delegates, and my dear students, it's with great pleasure and excitement that I participate in the IEEE International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems 2024, hosted by the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at Mar Baselius College of Engineering and Technology. As we gather here today, we are embarking on a journey of exploration and innovation, guided by the theme, Futuristic Technologies for Sustainable Solutions. This theme highlights our collective commitment to harness the power of technology to address the pressing challenges of sustainability and pave the way for a brighter future. Today, we are entering into a significant dialogue and collaboration towards shaping the future of transportation, energy, and intelligent systems. In an era where sustainability and efficiency are paramount, our gathering here holds immense importance. The intersection of e-mobility, power control, and smart systems presents unprecedented opportunities and challenges. It is through forums like this that we explore innovative solutions, share groundbreaking research, and forge meaningful partnerships. As we delve into discussions over the coming days, let us keep in mind the broader impact of our endeavors. Our collective efforts have the potential to revolutionize the way we move, consume energy, and interact with our environment. Whether it is advancing electrical vehicle technologies, optimizing power grids, or developing intelligent transportation systems, each contribution to this conference holds the promise of a brighter, more sustainable future. Let me urge you to take up some of the problems that we are facing. It's true that electric cars are quick, efficient, and environmentally friendly. However, there are some potential disadvantages that need to be taken into consideration, like limited battery range, shorter lifespan of batteries, long charging time, more expensive, and so on. Constant research and development is inevitable to address such issues. I understand that among more than 400 technical papers received from both India and abroad, which after a rigorous double-blind review process has been shortlisted to about 100 papers focusing on the divergent research fields such as e-mobility, modern and advanced control strategies, robotics, industrial automation, aerospace engineering, and beyond for this seminar. These papers are a testament to the dedication and expertise of researchers worldwide who are striving to push the boundaries of knowledge and innovation. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to all the keynote speakers, session chairs, reviewers, sponsors, and all those who have contributed to the success of this conference. Your support and dedication are truly appreciated, and it is because of your efforts that we have come together to create this platform for learning and discovery. I also extend a warm welcome to our distinguished resource persons and participants who have travelled from far and wide to join us for this momentous occasion. Your presence enriches the discussions and inspires all of us to strive for excellence in all our endeavours. Let me also convey the regards of His Beatitude Moron Mar Baselius Cardinal Clemis Catholicos, Major Archbishop Catholicos, who serves us our patron and manager. Under his guidance, MBCET has flourished as a center of academic excellence and innovation, nurturing generations of talented individuals who are making a positive impact on the world. Take up this opportunity to collaborate, learn and innovate together as we work towards creating a more sustainable and prosperous future for generations to come. I also congratulate the organizers for conducting a seminar of this magnitude. With these words, let me inaugurate this seminar and wish you all an informative and knowledgeable sessions. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your presence here today has truly enriched our gathering, and we are deeply thankful for the invaluable insights you have shared. May your blessings continue to guide and inspire us in our endeavors. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and profound words. We are indeed honored to have with us Shri K.R. Jyotilal IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, as our guest of honor. Shri K.R. Jyotilal IAS is currently the Additional Chief Secretary, General Administration, Power and Forest and Wildlife Department, Government of Kerala. He completed his BTech degree from IIT Madras and MBA from the Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India, ICFAI. Mr. Jyotilal has earlier been the Collector of Trivandrum and Kannur and held portfolios in IT, Transport, Tourism, Parliamentary Affairs, Ports, and Aviation, among others. He has been instrumental in projects related to high-tech agriculture, Smart City Kochi, KMRL, KMTA, Kannur Airport, e-mobility and hydrogen economy. Without further ado, I humbly invite him for the inaugural address. Sir, please.
His Excellency Most Reverential Dr. Matthew Mar Polikarpos, Father John Varghese, Dr. Abraham T. Matthew, Dr. Elizabeth Varghese, Dr. Biju, Dr. Bijuna Kunju, Dr. Shalu George, and participants in the e-mobility, power control and smart systems, and those delegates who are presenting maybe papers online, and some of them are presenting offline. Maybe we had all in the prayer song you said the earth is one, Bhumi Onnannu, that means earth is one. Now 2 days back we realized the earth is one because the water which goes away because of the change in the climate. You may get rain what you are going to get in 1 year in 1 day. That is what happened in UAE. Same thing is going to happen with the change in the climate. So that is why I think we have to realize that if we pollute or somebody else pollute, where the carbon emission come from here, this country or any other country, is going to affect the earth as such. So we are one, we can be affected whether you are there in a desert or you are in a flood prone area. I think that is a great lesson, and the need for us to change. Probably Kerala is one of the first states to bring a e-mobility policy, EV policy in 2019. Professor Jhunjhunwala, IIT Madras was heading that, and a lot of experts were there. Then everyone said, what is the need for electric cars when if you don't ensure that the grid is also green? That means you should have power from green sources, renewable energy. Now I think a lot of things have happened. In fact, solar power is now cheaper than any other power now. Earlier solar power used to be the costliest, 10 rupees, 12 rupees. Now it is almost 2 to 3 rupees. Whereas coal power, the rate has gone up to 10 to 12 rupees. Now it's a reverse. So lot of changes. Now wind energy, 4 rupees, 3.4 to 4 rupees you are able to get wind per unit. So I think the windmills are coming with 14 megawatt. I saw in the Rotterdam port, one windmill is 14 megawatt. Earlier we were talking in terms of kilowatts. Now I think that's the way technology is changing. So offshore wind is another opportunity which is coming. We have unexplored potential which can, the entire country can be lighted for thousands of years if we use the thorium which is deposits which are available. 1/3 of thorium deposit is only in Kerala. Man, they say that man is after the creation, not the creator. Once you get the creator, you don't, creation is automatic. That is where I think the man is after creations. We are all materialistic. That is the whole problem now which is happening. If you have to be sustainable, if you want it to preserve it for the future, we need to have the value system. That is why you go catch the creator, then your creations is automatic. Now we are running after that. So I think lot of mindset change is what is required. So I used to say that, this age of information technology where information, but what we require is a transformation. That is called Manasandaram. You should have a mental mindset change. We have got bandwidth, but we don't have the mind width. I think that's a key things which need to be addressed in the age. Now, coming back to the electric mobility, we started now. Kerala is now probably we have got as on 10th of April when I took this thing, 1.54 lakh vehicles, electric vehicles are registered in Kerala. Every day it is increasing, and maximum is two-wheelers. That means two-wheelers, three-wheelers and up to cars, I think it is the most effective, because I bought the first electric car in Kerala. And I wanted to test it, though it's it's an experiment. I took some 10 lakh loan from SBI. I thought anyway I got enough service to repay the loan, so I will take the risk. Everybody said, charging center, this is not there, that is not there. Typical Kerala mentality that nothing will happen. So you try to find the fault of others, because you see your own reflection in others. If you find fault, there is something inside you which is at fault. You rectify yourself. So then I put 10 kilowatt on rooftop. Then my electricity bill is almost nil. Now it is the KSEB has started increasing the bill. Okay, that's a different matter. But so I am charging my vehicle. I have zero maintenance till now. Let me tell you, zero maintenance. Except that in between, generally after 8 years, you have to replace the battery, because battery life is typically maybe 8 years. So I experimented, I found that zero maintenance charge, and whatever money you save, that will be good enough to pay the EMI of the bank. So it is whatever you say, because diesel bill anyway, if you minimum 10,000 rupees you have to fill diesel in a month. 10,000 will be my EMI, 10 lakh. So I think that way, without any cost, you can buy an electric vehicle. So I think cars is possible. Two-wheelers are picking up. The government, without giving any subsidy only, we are able to do it. The next question is, how do you make a charging infrastructure make it available? First we invested. Then next one is any electric pole, it can be a charging center. That is called pole-mounted charging center. Unmanned is like unmanned fuel station. You made it a QR code. Kerala, I think even beggars are also using smartphones. So they know which area to beg. They will know better probably in the mobile phone. They use all technologies. So I think using a mobile phone, you can charge, you can make payment. So that is also another innovation which Kerala brought. 1,140 pole-mounted charging centers has come. That means as far as electric line is there, you are saved. You don't need. So across Kerala, people are now using electric vehicle, and it is picking up without government giving any subsidy. Only subsidies you provide the infrastructure as an incentive. Now coming back to the bus and truck, because the battery size is a problem, charging time is a problem, then the grid balancing will be another problem. That is where we went for how the energy can be stored. Now battery is basically energy storage medium. So how do we, that is where we went for a fuel cell. Actually India's first hydrogen boat with a fuel cell has been made by in Kerala, Cochin shipyard. Last week only I took the Dutch embassy, consul general, all of them to the hydrogen boat which is running in Kochi. We first started with LTO battery, lithium titanium oxide battery, which is one of the safest battery, because heat dissipation is one of the best. Power penetration test also it qualifies. It's only battery which is qualifies. Even if there is an accident, even if a nail penetrates, it won't catch fire. Second is heat dissipation is one of the best. That is why LTO battery we tried for the water metro. On water metro also, last time Honorable Prime Minister launched it. That is also first of its kind. We started first solar boat maybe 2019. Then we went for water metro with where Alstom coach, which is just like a metro with all the system like what you provide in a metro. Now we have gone to next stage of hydrogen fuel, hydrogen as a fuel. I was just telling that if all Malayalis come back also, you need not worry because God has given you enough water, enough solar, except that we need some change in mindset. Otherwise, we can generate our own fuel. You split with electrolyzer, you can split it into hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen you can use for medical use and hydrogen you can use for as a fuel. So Kerala can really become the Gulf of India, where we can produce enough fuel for the, that is another, so with a hydrogen fuel cell you need. Maybe fuel cell cost, maybe in another 5 to 10 years it will all come down. That is my reading, but let us, so in order to address the interim problem only we thought of hydrogen itself as a fuel in the IC engine. So that is why there is a multidisciplinary approach is what is required, because you have to consider energy as a bigger spectrum, not as an individual. Electric energy, mechanical energy, there is nothing like that, because you have to learn from your own body. Your mitochondria is nothing but a power center, powerhouse. You take carbohydrate, you generate power within each of one of your cell. Each cell is like a hydrogen fuel cell. You generate. The moment the capacity is gone, that cell is gone. Every day you are losing almost 20 million cells will might be dying, another 30 million or 20 million you are creating. So you are the creator, you are the destroyer, everything is there. But each of your cell is like a powerhouse. I think you need to learn from that. So the systems, how the controls are brought about so that you are able to balance now your body, you are doing it every day. But now we have to, this is the age of what is a smart, you are telling smart systems. There is a concept called open energy interface. For example, now you have got an electric vehicle charging center. That particular company's charging center, only you can charge that vehicle. When energy is same, when the socket is fitting, why should there be any, discrimination? I think this is what OEMs have brought about. So what the next concept which we are now working on, it's called open protocol. You use open protocol, then you have, irrespective of which vehicle you want to charge, because electricity is same, your socket is same, why should the software be different by which you are not able to match and you can charge? So what is called open protocol, both the charging center and OEM follow the open protocol. Any charging center can be, any vehicle can be charged anywhere. So that also pilot we are now starting with Nandan Nilakeni is a foundation called Beacon Foundation. They made the open protocol. In fact, that's another innovations which is, in the present day you need to survive means you should be open, you should be innovative. As Chris Gopalakrishnan always used to mention that any country and organization which innovates only can survive. If you don't innovate, it's a death. It's like expansion is life, contraction is death. So if you don't innovate, that is where I think the students, especially those in the startups space, I think, or the maybe third year onwards, generally what we do in Kerala is instead of skill development, S is coming not at the beginning, it comes at the end, it kills development. You don't, most of the higher education institution, what we find is, we don't give them the flexibility, we don't give the freedom, we don't allow them to keep on updating the knowledge. For example, last time, for e-mobility, we started a new course with the Germans, GIEST supported us. We made a syllabus, now it has been introduced in all the polytechnics in Kerala as an elective on e-mobility, because a lot of mechatronics, power electronics, all these things, subjects are not dealt by electrical engineering. Even the MBA, your engineering colleges or in the polytechnic, this is not introduced. So last time GIEST has prepared one elective for that. Now engineering colleges should also go for next year hydrogen economy. So people should know how to, like high voltage, not many people know how to handle high voltage. So I think there's a need for skilling right from ITA to polytechnic to engineering college. Even training of the trainers, new syllabus introduction, all these are required. Then I was coming to the, see, there are so many innovations which are happened. We should not reinvent the wheel. I am happy that a lot of from across the globe, China, all these places, people are attending. And in fact, see, knowledge is something which is universal, and we should not be, whether it is German knowledge or Netherlands or China, any place, knowledge you get, you must, you keep on continuously updating it. One of the reasons why Chinese, they copied all beg, borrow or steal technology from across the globe, but they adopted for their country's growth. I am not telling you to steal technology, but at least let us learn. For example, one or two examples I will tell. Like recently I was in touch with, maybe another 5 minutes I will close. See, there was a, I went to last time World Hydrogen Summit in Netherlands. So there we met some of the cutting edge technologies where they use, there's a company called S2 Pro, it's an Israeli company, but what they do is, they split with a membraneless electrolyzer, they make with 42 units of kg, 1 kg of hydrogen. 1 kg of hydrogen is equivalent to 3 liters of diesel. That means $1 they say 80, that means 80 rupees you are able to make a fuel which will be equivalent to 3 liters, that means 300 rupees. So that means you are cutting straight into a diesel business. That means the entire world, the what to say, the fossil fuel economy will be perish. So I think that is, this is called company called S2 Pro. Probably you can Google it out. S2 Pro, and it has been acquired by Doral. We are also trying to get them here, so that we said 1 kg. That means Kerala has got enough water, enough what is a sunlight and wind. We can convert, we can generate fuel for the country and make it, we can become an export hub of energy. In fact, a lot of companies also have shown interest in investing. Only we have got limitation of land because you need a space, but now I think government is also seriously thinking about land reforms, because we have got all these estates which are all closed down now because plantations which are not viable. Tea, so allow them, because somewhere near the port you need either Kochi or Trivandrum, you need a rubber estate, tea, coffee, plantation, etc. You allow them to use it for clean tech companies, which doesn't pollute, this good, generate income, generate foreign exchange, generate employment, and it will be our skilled people can be given employment. I think this is one area which we are working. Second, we are working on a hydrogen valley with Dutch and other company, other universities like Groningen, where you can do the skilling part of it. Then you bring the industry, academia, research all together, so that you are able to maybe what is a cutting edge technologies which is going to make your country or your state advance in that. One or two technologies which are working in, one is biomass. We have got a lot of biomass. Biomass you can convert into ethanol or SAF, aviation fuel, or what is a hydrogen, or whichever way. So that is all. Ethanol to SAF, ethanol to, and biomass, and even the waste. In fact, one project which we are working is a water hyacinth. It's a big issue. Water hyacinth itself can become a fuel, or the plastic. Plastic can also become, so plastic to hydrogen, so that you generate what is available within you and your core competence, you make it viable so that it's sustainable and scalable. Now Kerala is now, I said 1.54 lakhs, I am sure we will reach 1 million electric vehicles soon. Then there are issues of vehicle to, how do you balance the grid? That is where I think dynamic load balancing, that is where the usage of artificial intelligence, etc. will help. As of now, KSEB is able to predict tomorrow's load today, deep learning algorithms. So that's a great thing. Next day's demand we are able to predict today. Probably that is why Kerala survived all these problems without much problem. Till now there is no power cut, because at least tomorrow's demand. Now technology is so much advanced that next second I can predict it. I don't need tomorrow's, see, tomorrow's load means 24 hours. Why should I buy for 24 hours when my power demand is only for half an hour or 25 minutes or 30 minutes? If I can predict it correctly, I can purchasing of power, I can reduce it to only that much time. My outflow comes down. So that means my economics, I will be much better compared to the normal purchasing. Long time Earlier, long-term purchase contracts were all followed, but I think now time has come where you can do the dynamic load balancing. So this is another area which you are looking. Third one is vehicle itself can do you can become the battery instead of mass storage by the masses. The vehicle 1.5 lakh vehicle battery itself is a storage of energy. Suppose an auto driver do not get any business today, he let him charge using the solar direct from the sunlight, DC charging. Now we are doing in the government buildings, DC fast charging from directly from the sunlight. So you know conversion efficiency is there. So no need to convert. Then DC fast charge and then give it back to the grid. Now the standards have been notified by Government of India. So we are now trying with the India Smart Grid Forum for a pilot, where a Tata's vehicle Nexon can charge and then give it back. Actually, Tony has demonstrated with a Nissan Leaf. You can charge a Nissan Leaf and we put the small machine with the Shadamo standards. You know, there is already a small machine by which you can power Secretariat for 3 days. One Leaf you charge and then 3 days lighting, of the Secretariat, you can do with one car. Imagine. So this is vehicle to grid is another project which you are working probably. These are then open network, open energy interface I said. Third one is peer-to-peer trading. Now there is a blockchain-based solution by which you can certify the power when you produce the power. You certify it as a green with a time stamping, but then they will charge some cost, 38 paisa or so. Now with the open energy open protocol, the advantage is that you don't need do a time stamping because it's open and anybody can verify. Nobody can cheat and say that my power I have sold to him. So open energy interface, that's the cheapest way of what is a peer-to-peer trading. I produce solar, I want to sell it to an aggregator, can aggregate from all the producers and give it, and he will get some additional revenue for the green power. So this is another opportunity which is coming. I said about the wind, where we have got almost 2000 megawatt. In fact, next week we are having the meeting with the World Bank experts, Alexander and all, on the how do we generate. Only with the power evacuation systems we need to make so that we can tap those. Then pumped floating solar is another area which we are working with. 60 reservoirs we can easily make 6,000 megawatt. Then battery energy storage along with the solar, so that the grid balancing won't be an issue. Now the new model is that with the battery energy, solar plus 50% capacity of the battery, you can easily make, there will be no problem for grid. You will have round the clock power for that 50% capacity. So I think the cost was coming to only 5.1 rupees, 5.5 rupees per unit. So that is another breakthrough. And so you are telling about the AI use. I think now with the AI, robotics and 3D printing, I think a lot of things are going to change. I will tell you one or two examples where one of my batchmates, Arun, he is now doing only dental. He is invested in a company where you make your same day, instead of a dental doctor, he goes there, he takes all the measurement, immediately the 3D printed implants are ready, and it's a perfect fit for you. Similarly for cancer treatment, all these with pinpointed, you can you can do the treatment with the gamma radiations. And another major this thing is closed loop. Last time we had a meeting with the director of the BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. In fact, second generation and fast breeder reactor, anyway now at least India has made a 30 megawatt, I think, pilot project they have made. Second stage you add thorium, and third stage you get uranium-233. So it's a closed loop. That becomes a fuel for the first stage. So you have almost nil or minimal nuclear wastage. Closed loop reactor, and this can power India for next 1,000 years. I think that is the wealth of Kerala is having. So I think that is another area probably we should look at. Another concept which you are working in is BLDC fans. How do you, instead of wherever you put solar, now BLDC fans are there. Now air conditioning is one area where we need to work, but I think KDISC has done a demo with I think 40 volt DC. Entire building is now 40 volt DC. So directly solar and DC, there are no AC. So only thing, fans are there, lights are there. Now maybe air conditioning comes. That's the most efficient way. So you can be even 100% off grid. Then usage of just like we use Wi-Fi, I think there are some concept which Tony will be able to tell. Philips has brought the Li-Fi. Light itself can be used for wherever sensitive information is there. Somebody should not to misuse the Wi-Fi. You can use light for the connectivity. So Li-Fi. Another important challenge which is coming is recycling of the battery on the 8th year. I think that is where lot of things need to be done. Some have been done, but at present the batteries are used for the charging centers. You can use it, but after the end of that life cycle, how do you make it? So I think that is another area of challenge which I found. In fact, one more project which we are now working is with ISRO. ISRO has been launching for Gaganyaan, Mangalyaan. So I was telling that ISRO chairman that let us work something about on earth. You are worried about the moon and other places. When there is no earth is finished or there is a calamity, everything is going to be, then we can think of going to the other planets. Let us work on this planet. Why not you are sending rocket using liquid hydrogen. Then finally they agreed to give me liquid hydrogen free from IPRC Mahendragiri. And with that, one truck can run for 1,500 kilometers in one filling. And now we are, in fact, yesterday I talked to the chart industries. They agreed to give me the cryogenic tanker, then cryogenic dispenser, ISRO, and Reliance and Ashok Leyland has already perfected technology about the HICE engine. So we can run any bus or a truck. Probably KSRTC will become also viable if that comes. Even after that, we don't know whether they will become, but at least economically, for the cost wise, I think this is the we are now working it. If that succeeds, I think it will be a major breakthrough as far as the long haul trucks, bus and actually electrified mobility in the country is concerned. Even ships. And another project which we are working is same thing on the fisheries. Fishermen do not get kerosene, or they use kerosene or diesel, but it's all polluting and cost is also going on increasing. So now I think Tengapatana, one person has come. He is a fisherman only, but he brought this idea. I will convert one fishing boat into liquid hydrogen and see. Then I said you can go up to Oman and come back. So because our fishermen go even up to Oman coast. I think fisheries is another area which probably we should where how the electric mobility and electrified mobility, you store the energy in the liquid form and then convert, because otherwise solar and all you cannot. Electricity, there is a problem in storage in battery form. I think this is another project which you are working. Then electric VTOL, electric vertical land takeoff and landing aircrafts. Already my batchmate Professor Satya in IIT Madras is working on it. Startups are working. I think Kerala, this is ideal because instead of people, road width is very narrow, or maybe we are national highway, we are improving. But I think you can take off from your house and then land there. So I think electric two-wheelers and maybe up to four people in a family can use vertical eVTOL can become a reality. This is another project. Then hydrofoil, wherever water bodies are there, electric hydrofoils or using fuel cell. And electric PRT, one pilot project we have got the DPR now prepared for Kochi Metro, Water Metro up to the Info Park, where you use electric pod, where the KCB's pole itself can become a structure, and you can put everything, if you are just like your electrons can go through though electrons do not move, it's only vibration, but same way you can send molecules also. So a pod is nothing but a small family of 4 or 6 can go in a pod. Same electric, you don't need a right of way, existing pole can become a structure. You put your electric line, all other utilities and your logistics plus PRT, personalized rapid transit systems, PRTs also you can do it. So we are working on a pilot project we are prepared for Kochi. I think I am thinking that all our forest areas also we should allow people to go to the sea forest and come back. Like Agastya Argudam, you can go in a PRT because there is no interference because Kerala has to grow either vertical or horizontal. So you need to adopt technologies to make it happen. If electrons can move, molecules can move, then why not human being, why not logistics? In an efficient way, with the autonomous way, with a central command control system, it is possible. Already I think pilots are being planned. Let's make, maybe these are all some of the ideas which I was having. Our vision is to zero cash, zero congestion, zero emission, zero waste and vision zero, means zero accidents. So you should have a level difference. You should have a well-planned transportation systems integrated with e-mobility. You should have centralized command control system so that driverless, it is a conductorless, you don't need, payments are all zero cash, 100% digital, and then you say zero emission, wherever you don't emit, and zero waste. Convert every waste, including municipal waste, or water has and the plastic, everything into energy. So convert, so that means I am ultimately coming to the area E is equal to MC square. Energy and mass are same. Open integrated grids, which are the smart. So this is what we are looking at it. But how much of it is possible in Kerala, that is another issue, but the great challenge. But things are moving in that direction. So thank you for giving an opportunity to share some of the thoughts. I don't know how much it is relevant for you, but this is what government side we are planning. I wish all the best for all the participants. I am sure the outcomes of this will be of use for us also to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for your enlightening inaugural address. Your insights and vision gained through such exposure and practical experience have set a remarkable tone for this conference, inspiring us all. We are deeply honored to have had the opportunity to hear from you today. As a gesture of our deep appreciation and affection, I respectfully extend a request on behalf of the MBCET family for His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Smart Polycarpos to kindly present a memento to Shri K.R. Jodhilal IAS.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I now invite Dr. Biju K, Assistant Director, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University and Secretary, IEEE Kerala Section, to release the conference handbook and to offer his felicitation thereafter. I also invite all other dignitaries on the dais to kindly join.
Respected Principal Dr. Abraham T. Matthew, Reverend, Most Reverend Father His Excellency Matthew Smart Polycarpos, Shri Jodhilal, K.R. Jodhilal IAS, Additional Chief Secretary Government of Kerala, Dr. Bijina Kunju, my fellow colleague in IEEE Kerala section, Dr. Shalu George, Dr. Elizabeth, other esteemed dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, dear faculty members, authors and delegates of this conference and students. Good morning one and all. As you know, IEEE is the largest technical professional body in the world with more than 4 lakhs members spread across 180 plus countries. And IEEE conducts a lot of activities for the benefits of its members. And one of the major activities of IEEE is conferences. And in every year, IEEE do conduct more than 1,500 plus conferences. And IEEE is very particular in the quality of the conferences organized by it. And there is the uppermost committee in IEEE is International Conference Committee, ICC, which basically governs all the conference in IEEE. And below that there is another committee called CQC, Conference Quality Management Committee, which is more focused towards the quality of the conferences. And below that there is another committee called TPIC, Technical Program Integrity Committee, which randomly takes the conferences, at least 10 to 20% of the conference happening across the globe, and thoroughly evaluates that. And if the committee found that there are some papers which is submitted to IEEE which are not suitable for publication, that entire conference proceedings will be put under hold. So every publication chair in IEEE should basically focus on or ensure that all the papers submitted to IEEE after the conferences belongs to the designated fields of interest of IEEE. The designated fields of interest of IEEE is clearly given in the website of IEEE. So all the publication chair basically has to ensure that the paper submitted to the conference is strictly on confirmation with the designated fields of interest. Otherwise, what will happen is if you submit the papers after the conference to IEEE and see the situation when some papers are being rejected by IEEE. So see the situation how the organizing committee members will be on embarrassing situation where they will be collecting registration fee and all the others will be traveling across the world to present the conference, and after the conference see the situation when some of the papers are not acceptable to IEEE. So all the publication chairs should basically ensure that all the papers should align to the theme of interest or to the designated fields of interest of IEEE. And the Kerala section, one among the 345 vibrant sections in IEEE, is also very particular on the quality of the conference. And we do have a conference activity board which basically accepts the proposals and evaluates the proposals rigorously and select only the very good proposals. And we do support a lot of conferences, technically co-sponsored conferences like this. And we do organize our own conferences, RICES and SPICES. And this year the RICES is hosted by MA College of Engineering, Kodamangalam, which is going to happen next month. And the SPICES is going to happen in September, which is hosted by IIIT Kottayam. And I am very happy that this conference, basically conference on e-mobility, power and smart systems, is organized very nicely and has arranged a lot of keynote and tutorial sessions. And I am sure all the delegates and authors of this conference will definitely get benefited out of the discussions and the technical paper presentations also, which is going to happen in both online and offline. And I wish all the participants, delegates and students and faculty members of this college also, because they are getting a great opportunity to witness to all these technical sessions. And we were in fact lucky to witness a very great inspirational talk from Jyothilalal sir, a senior administrator in government service, talking as a technocrat. So he raised a lot of points and all the points are very relevant for the discussion in the conference, and I am sure these kinds of points also will be taken for discussion in this conference. And I wish all the best for the conference, and I take this opportunity to congratulate the organizing committee members headed by our Abraham D. Matthew sir and Dr. Shalu George, Dr. Elizabeth, Dr. Nisha, and all other organizing committee members who are actively involved in these conferences. And I really thank from IEEE Kerala section for all the efforts you have made in making this conference a big one. And I am sure this conference, this will continue, and we will have a more rejuvenated next edition of this conference in the next year, or it can be a biennial conference also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Biju sir. May I now invite Dr. Bijina Kunnu K, Vice Chair, IEEE Kerala section, to offer her felicitations and give an overview on IEEE.
Good morning, everyone. The dignitaries, many of them have left. and Ibrahim T. Matthews sir, Biju, Elizabeth, Shalu, I see Usha ma'am in front of me, my Nisha is there, so, Rao sir is also there, and Dr. Deepak Mishra, hi, good morning, and all the delegates and students here. In fact, I was asked to talk about IEEE, but I don't think I need to talk about IEEE anymore because Viju has already explained. And I was ready to talk about the topic, and I cannot say anything more than what Jyotilal sir has said. So I'm so happy to associate with the conference here. Basically, ICMPS, when we started off, right from the beginning, I was associated because Nisha, again my student, so we were talking to each other always. Again, Shalu is also my student, so I have been very close to the team, and Abraham T. Matthews sir is my teacher. So we have been in a loop talking to each other, and we had a lot of discussions about the conference, and when it turned out to be having so many number of papers, we were so happy to have that number. And the whole procedure when we go through a conference is what we enjoy. The technical input that comes from all the authors, as reviewer also, I was also partly reviewing the papers also. So when we go through the papers, that gives us a lot of insight into what the technology is moving into. And this changeover is what we actually visualize in IEEE. This inspirational transformation of information should go from one person to the other, and the other should go ahead. So this is a platform where we can talk to each other, we can know what the other person is doing, and the next person who comes up with the research should go much above that. So when we start doing the research, we always have a literature review that is being done. In our own area, how much has it progressed? But when you attend a conference, the time gets reduced, you just sit there, listen to all the papers that are being presented. When they are presenting, they are actually presenting their previous researches also. So this is the best platform for any researcher to come, sit, listen to the delegates, listen from them, and in fact the keynote speeches also, as well as tutorial sessions, I saw that they are all great experts that we have this time. Pradeep sir is very well known to all of us, and so many others, even including Kumaravel. I saw all those people are talking, and they are all ardent researchers also. So this is one of the best platforms for you to interact. So I request all the delegates to make use of this opportunity, and I am really grateful to you to have me here. And congratulations to the whole team of EEE department of MBCET, and as you all know, I have been closely associating with the department for so many years since the beginning, and we will continue the relationship for many more years to come. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I extend a request for Dr. Biju K. to present a memento to His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Matthews Mar Polikarpos.
Now I would like to request our principal, Dr. Abraham T. Matthews sir, to kindly present mementos to Dr. Bijinakunya K. and Dr. Biju K.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. Shalu George K., Associate Professor, Department of EEE, MBCET and Organizing Chair, ICEMPS 24, to propose the vote of thanks.
Esteemed guests,
distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's with immense gratitude and sincere appreciation that I extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for gracing us with your presence at the inaugural ceremony of the 2024 International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Matthews Mark Polikarpos, for gracing us with his presence and for the benedictory address. Next, I express our gratitude to Sri K.R. Jyotilal IAS for his esteemed presence and delivering an enlightening inaugural address. Your insights have set a remarkable tone for the conference and will undoubtedly guide us as we delve into the intricate realms of e-mobility, power control and smart systems over the coming days. Next, I express our gratitude to Dr. Biju K. for offering his felicitations and releasing the conference handbook. Sir, your support and encouragement serve as a beacon of motivation for all of us as we embark on this journey of knowledge exchange and innovation. We are also immensely grateful to Dr. Bijana K. for her felicitations and invaluable contributions in the context of the conference. I sincerely thank our bursar, Reverend Father John Burgess, Principal Dr. Abraham T. Matthew and Vice Principal Dr. S. Vishwanath Rao for their invaluable support in the conduct of the conference. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our Head of the Department, Dr. Elizabeth Verghese, and Dr. Nisha G.K., Professor, Department of EEE, and also the Technical Program Chair for their constant support and invaluable contributions. I also thank my co-conveners, Ms. Manchu Srikumar and Mr. Ashwin R.B. and the entire faculty and technical staff of EEE Department for their relentless efforts in orchestrating this conference. Their dedication, meticulous planning and attention to detail have ensured the seamless execution of this event. To our esteemed keynote and tutorial speakers, session chairs and reviewers, we owe a debt of gratitude for sharing their expertise and insights with us. We hope that the keynote and tutorial presentations will enrich our understanding and provide invaluable perspectives on the latest advancements and challenges in the field. A special word of thanks to all the paper presenters and participants who have travelled from far and wide to be a part of this conference. Your research contributions and active engagement are the lifeblood of this event, and we are grateful for your enthusiasm and commitment to advancing the frontiers of knowledge. I would also like to extend our appreciation to the IEEE Kerala section for their technical sponsorship and APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University and MBCET Alumni Association, whose generous support has been instrumental in making this conference possible. Your partnership has enabled us to create a platform for collaboration and innovation that will undoubtedly have a lasting impact on the field of e-mobility, power control and smart systems. Last but certainly not the least, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you, our esteemed audience. Your presence here today reflects your shared commitment to driving positive change and shaping the future of sustainable transportation and energy systems. In closing, I would like to express our sincere hope that the discussions and collaborations fostered during this conference will continue to inspire and propel us towards a future that is greener, smarter and more sustainable. Thank you once again for your unwavering support and participation. Here is to a fruitful and enriching conference ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's all stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
The inaugural ceremony has come to a close. Thank you. We are moving on to the tea break. Refreshments are arranged outside the hall. Students may kindly move out to get their refreshments. Thank you.
Please be back in 5 minutes. Please be back in 5 minutes.
The tea break will be for 5 minutes. Please be back inside for the keynote address. Thank you. The keynote will start soon.
Hello, Pradeep Kumar. Hello. Hello, this is Pradeep here. Sir, hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes. How about me? Am I audible?
Yes. Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yeah.
So students have joined in the hall, and we are having the live stream now.
Yeah.
Oops.
We are now commencing with the first keynote session of the 2024 International Conference on E-Mobility, Power Control and Smart Systems, ICEMPS, Futuristic Technologies for Sustainable Solutions, organized by the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Mahabasilius College of Engineering and Technology, and co-sponsored by IEEE Kerala Section and APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. In this keynote address, our speaker will deliberate on the topic System Engineering Approach to Electric Vehicle Design.
We are extremely privileged to have with us our speaker, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Keloth, Principal Advisor of Emerging Technology Topics at L&T EduTech and former Head of Engineering at Bosch. Mr. Pradeep Kumar Keloth has around 3 decades of technology leadership in the systems, modeling and simulation in both automotive and non-automotive industry. He started his career as scientific officer in the Department of Atomic Energy, where he spent almost 12 years in the modeling and simulation of pressurized heavy water nuclear reactor system and its control.
Mr. Pradeep was former head of department for electrification topics at Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions Private Limited (RBEI). He was also responsible for the Center of Excellence in Electrification at RBEI. He is an invited speaker for major technical symposiums in electrification. He graduated with honors from NIT Calicut. Without further ado, I invite Mr. Pradeep Kumar Keloth for the keynote address.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
And the slides are visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you. Very happy to be here in another IEEE Kerala event, a very vibrant organization, and its affiliated college, including MBCET. Very happy. Good morning, all of you. The topic I am going to present is System Engineering Approach for Electric Vehicle Design. Actually, system engineering, as you know, it's a very common word used, but this word system engineering is a buzzword in the automotive industry right now. Every industry, every automotive companies are going behind system engineering. Maybe the perspective in which we need to understand system engineering is slightly different from what we have already understood. That is the difference which I am trying to bring in. And I also wanted to encourage the students to look into these aspects, and whenever they are planning a career, so they will get some good amount of information from this presentation in terms of what are the opportunities for a system engineer in an automotive industry and why this particular role is extremely important. So outline of my presentation is, very briefly I'll talk about the vehicle systems and component and what are the major challenges in EV design, why system engineering is so important at this stage, okay, why it is so important, what is the system engineering process, and what is the role of a system engineer in the automotive industry. And then I'll give you a case study in which how a system engineering approach is used for optimizing the vehicle cost, that is basically the battery cost, and how are you optimizing the performance of an EV from a in a systematic manner through system engineering approach. And then we'll do the conclusion. So electric vehicle consists of the battery and the charging systems. You have the power electronics which converts the DC to AC, and then you have the electric motor which is typically AC motors, and then you have various ECUs which is basically the control systems. So maybe for the BMS for the battery and a motor controller and brake systems, and so many VCUs and so many electronic controllers will be there. So all these components put together is functioning to work the electric vehicle the way it should be worked. What are the challenges? One of the major challenges is high cost of technology. So cost of technology, especially in terms of the cost of the battery. So in addition to that, in addition to the cost, we also have to make sure that the EV components, all the battery and every components, the weight and size need to be optimized, because you have very limited space inside inside a vehicle, and you cannot have huge weight, because actually when you put more weight, it is a dead weight, and when the vehicle moves around, so it will be unwantedly draining the battery. So all the EV components are extremely temperature sensitive, especially the battery. So we need to take care of all this. And now we have fast charging requirements coming. We want to reduce the charging time as small as possible, maybe 20 minutes or maybe even lesser than that, and that is causing a lot of problems from the electrochemistry angle as well as from the thermal angle. Availability of charging infrastructure and charging from renewable energy sources is a must for the EV, and you also require a grid storage, especially when you are taking the power from the renewable energy sources like solar. So these are all the challenges. And as you know that electric vehicle is still in a initial stage, it is still not reached a matured stage, especially in terms of the technology related to the battery, and the charging has to happen from renewable energy sources. These are a fast charging requirement. All these are evolving. So we have not reached a level of stability here. And strictly speaking, when you are designing the electric vehicle, you have to see that the performance is very good, safety aspects are taken care, reliability aspects are taken care, cost is taken care, and environmental sustainability is there. So you have so many requirements coming over there. And naturally, when you are designing an electric vehicle, you need to have a holistic approach. When you are designing, this is the place where the system engineering is going to play a role. Apart from EV, and if you look at the automotive mega trend, it is going to be EV ecosystem. Beyond that, it is going to be connected vehicle, it is going to be autonomous drone vehicle. So the complexity of the future automotive vehicle is going to increase drastically, and you need to have an extremely good systematic approach in which design of all this can be done. And this is the place where the system engineering is going to play an important role. System engineers can be at the component level, system engineer for battery, system engineer for motor, system engineer for inverter, or it can be at the vehicle level, engineering for autonomous drone vehicle. Everywhere it is going to be system engineering approach as far as the design is concerned. We cannot afford to fail, especially you can see that a lot of battery fire incidents which has come. Probably this is one example where a system engineering approach is not applied in the design. So let us see what it is. I think these are all the definitions which already you know, and I am going to go a little bit beyond this to explain certain aspects. System is nothing but a set of components connected together to achieve a desired performance. When it comes to the electric vehicle, you can see that so many components are getting connected together, and most important for inverter or motor, all these components are governed by mathematical equations based on the physics. So you have in the system engineering system is there both the physical as well as the conceptual system, and we will see that the conceptual part of this is the side.
Sir, greeting, sir.
Pardon? Am I audible? Hello? Hello? Ashwin, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, now it is okay. Okay, there is some network issue here. Yeah. Okay. So individual components may be performing at the optimal level, but when the components are connected together at the system level, it may not give you the best performance. This is one part of the system engineering which you have to take care. And the whole is greater than sum of its part. Individual components may have certain functionalities, and when it comes to the system level function, it is not the sum of individual component level functions. It is much beyond that. And this particular thing which is much beyond that, we wanted to call it as the emergence. And this is one of the aspects which I really want to highlight. That means, how are we going to identify this emergence part within the system? And this is where actually you can go for a designing of a safety system, reliable system, cost-effective system. So whatever we spoke about. So these aspects need to be considered from the emergence behavior of the components which is connected together. I am going to give you examples for this. Okay. So system will have a boundary as well as a input output. Strictly speaking, in the system engineering, we do only input-output relationship for the components and how they are connecting together. Typically, these input-output relationship for a physical systems are represented by differential equations. So, whereas at the component level, you go more detail, and then you may go for finite element analysis and then find out what is the localized temperature, pressure, speed, whatever. So, from the component designer who is doing a very detailed analysis using especially the partial differential equations and all that. So they come with a lot of boundary conditions within which the system has to operate, and the system engineer has to make sure that these boundaries at the component level are not exceeding under any part of the operating condition. So all these definitions are part of physical system. Now, the important topic which I am conveying today is what is the meaning of emergence. So the emergence include the reliability, the maintainability, the operability, the safety, the robustness, and this is what actually is going to give you an extra benefit in terms of the robustness of the design, the safety of the design, and the cost effectiveness of the design, reliability of the design, all those aspects, in addition to the normal performance which I explained in the previous slide. So while identifying the emergence function, what you should do is that you can have a system failure occurs when there is an anticipated emergent property fail to appear. Okay, a system can also fail when there is an unanticipated, undesirable emergent property appearing. So these type of conditions where the system can fail, by clearly analyzing, understanding about the emergence of the topic, is what actually the topic of my discussion today. So this is beyond the physical system, whatever we normally knows about the system engineering. So system engineering typically can have two significant parts. One part is the technical domain knowledge, where I already mentioned that the mathematical equations representing the components, and then we are integrating it together, all that physics-based model. The other part of system engineering is related to various paradigm like design thinking, function thinking, system thinking, architectural thinking. How you can bring in, these are also part of the system engineering process. So how you can bring in all these kind of aspects so that you are going to design a system which is performance is optimum, safety, reliable, cost, and all these things are taken care. And this is extremely important in the EV because EV is an emerging topic. So see the change in the definition now. So now if you look at the system engineering, it is not about the physical system alone, it is combination of physical and conceptual systems. So system engineering is an interdisciplinary field that focuses on designing and managing complex engineering projects. It integrates all engineering disciplines, not integration of the physical components alone. It integrates with the people also, the people who are doing the requirement engineering, who is doing the design, and all these particular people also need to be connected together, which is part of the conceptual system. So it has physical system and it also have conceptual system. So the exact definition of system engineering as per International Council of System Engineering is given here. And you can see that I am not going to read out this. This means that it has lot of aspects that need to be considered, not about the physical system alone. So it has to consider the operations, the performance, the testing, the manufacturing, cost and schedule, training and support. And say for example, when you are developing a electric vehicle, it is not that it is being developed at one place. So the vehicle design engineer may be sitting at one place, the component design engineer may be sitting at different place, and the component may be coming from the components. So it is an international team working at different location, and how are we going to connect all these people through a proper manner in terms of what the system is supposed to do. So these are all the things which is coming outside the physical system, that is on the conceptual system. Am I audible? Is there a problem? Okay. Am I audible, no? Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
in the system engineering approach, hello?
Sir, you're audible, sir.
Audible, right? Okay, good. So in the system engineering approach, on one side, you will have the system requirements, system level requirement. What is the acceleration required for the vehicle? What is the range requirement? What is the gradability requirement? At what slope the vehicle can climb? What is the maximum speed? So these are all the requirements coming from the overall system side. So now you can see there are a lot of components over there. You have the power electronics, you have the machine, and you have the battery, you have the powertrain topology, and then you have the control strategy coming into picture, which is bringing together all these components. And there are a lot of limitations. So limitations coming from the temperature limit, from the cost limit, from the weight limit, from the volume limit. And then there are non-technical aspects coming like government policies and tax benefits. So now you can see designing an electric vehicle is not about just mathematics alone. So it has so many other aspects also need to be considered from a holistic perspective. And that includes the non-technical part, like which I said about the part of the conceptual design in terms of government policies, in terms of various approaches like design thinking, system thinking. So system engineering, very systematic way of doing the design, considering various aspects in a holistic manner. So it has different phases: the requirement analysis, the functional analysis, synthesis, that is basically the design, and then system analysis and control will play a role in each and every stages. So strictly speaking, the first stage is requirement analysis, and here you have to specify all your requirement in a quantitative manner. In a quantitative manner, specification is extremely important. You can see the examples over there. I need a range of 400 kilometer in single charge. The accelerations are specified quantitatively. Everything need to be specified quantitatively, and you have to also put what are all the system level constraints. System level constraints. I want to have a look at the overall weight of the vehicle from the each and every component. Okay, so now there is the design thinking approach comes when at the requirement analysis phase. So basically here the very first stage is in terms of empathizing with the customer, what actually the people wanted. So here most of the time the vehicle design engineer will give you certain requirements, and component designers either in the same organization or in some other organization will understand it differently, and then they try to develop the component, and then they find that okay, so this is not what the actual customer wanted it. So strictly speaking, you need to really understand when you are designing an electric vehicle, you have to see what is the customer want, how many customers are there, do they need this much amount of maximum speed, do they want to climb the hill? Because if you try to put more and more requirement, actually you are increasing the size of your battery pack, and thereby you are increasing the cost. So design thinking approach is predominantly focusing on the customer, what they really wanted it. Based on that, do the ideation and do a prototype, and the prototype you can do through simulation, and try out through simulation, and then test and see that the requirements, whatever the customer asking, you will be able to deliver it within your component limitations. So this is a iterative process in that requirement analysis phase, where you are clearly focusing on the what the requirement is. I'll give you some examples in the coming slides. This is a very important as system level requirements. Now these system level requirements will be met by the components. So the battery pack will have some specifications. It will have some functions. You can see some of the examples. What is the function of battery pack? Again, we have to specify it here quantitatively. You can see that everywhere you can see it is written quantitatively. So now the level to the function at the system level, you need to establish a relation between these two. Most likely for the physical systems, you can establish it through mathematical model and simulation. Okay, but you need to clearly specify everything at the quantitative manner, both at the component level and at the system level. And now another important thing is, how are you going to write the function? So the function, when you are sure that you are designing a extremely safe system, reliable system, and whatever sustainable system. Want to do that, every function you need to identify and what is the unintended input that can come, what is the unintended output that can come, what are the boundary conditions. So a function can be written, and three ways of functions are typically possible. That is, from input to output, there is an energy transfer, that is for example acceleration, or the third one is fall under any three of these conditions. So reduce the speed to zero. What are the conditions under the entire lifetime of the vehicle? This particular thing should come, because there can be error happening in the components and this is not getting met. Okay, so that is where actually the reliability comes into picture. So the amount of brake events as function of car speed, range, and underground conditions. So you have to put all the boundary conditions within which this function has to work. And there can be unintended input that is coming. Say for example, what will happen? There is a wind speed coming behind the vehicle, or wind speed is coming in the opposite of the vehicle. What about the mass of the vehicle? There can be so many number of people in the vehicle, and there can be an activation delay. So under all these particular conditions, your function is likely to perform differently. So you have to look at what all the unintended input, and you have to also look at what all the unintended output. So when you are writing the functions at the component level, look into all these particular aspects. This is exactly what you have to do a very robust design. Okay. So now you can see that if I write each and every functions of the battery, motor, and everyone, it will become a huge list. And this particular function level through some approach, through some it basically solving the mathematical equations. You cannot do that. Here we use a different kind of a tool. This is called SysML approach, system modeling language, or a UML language. There are a lot of tools available in the market. So in that particular tool, you have to write all the system level functions, how it is connected with the component level functions, and all the boundary conditions, unintended input, everything should be captured in the system, so that you will get a complete picture about what is at the system level, what is at individual component level. And this particular approach is not actually physical systems, this is a conceptual approach. Now you need to find out for each of the functions what are the constraints, what are the physical constraints, what are the environmental constraints. Now you can easily look at a lot of fire incidents on the battery has happened. Nobody has looked into why this has happened, because some of the two-wheeler is parked on the side of the road and it is not at all running, but still the fire incident happened. So the environmental temperature is high. So the impact of the environmental temperature on the function of the battery pack was not considered. So this is exactly I am trying to tell. In order to have a very robust design, you need to look into all these aspects, and all these aspects are not really part of the definition of system engineering in the physical system way. These are all conceptual understanding. So then you need to do a lot of simulations at various stages as far as the physical system is concerned. So you need to map battery, inverter, motor, transmission system, everything is playing a role. When it comes to auxiliary battery charging, the battery and DC-DC converter is going to play. When it comes to battery charging, battery, and about meeting different system level requirement, which component is playing that particular role. So this particular picture, once you create, you will get a clear idea about how the component is getting connected to the system level requirement. Now, what is system thinking? So once you put all the system functions and boundary conditions, once you put all the components and their functions and boundary conditions, everything, you put all this particular information over there, then you are going to have a huge number of information in front of you. And this is what actually I'm trying to tell. All these informations will be captured in a tool. So anybody trying to analyze, okay, I wanted to change one particular motor to another type of a motor. So you will get the complete picture when I'm making that particular change, which are all the places it is going to have impact. Okay. So through that, through this particular link between system to component level functions, you will be able to make those changes without making much mistake. At least you will come to know which are all the places it is getting impacted. So this is called the system thinking, and system thinking is very much part of system engineering. So then the things like system analysis and control, if you look at that slide, so this is a activity which is impacting all the stages like requirement stage or function stage or design stage. Especially it is applied in all stages of engineering, and then it will do the lot of trade-off studies, risk management, configuration management, and technical performance measurement, traceability. Everything is the responsibility of this particular block, so that all the requirement stages to implementation is going in a very, very smooth manner. So you can see that when it comes to the component, when it comes to the motor, you can see there is a peak requirement as well as there is a continuous requirement. Similarly, when it comes to inverter, you can see there is a peak requirement and there is a continuous requirement. Continuous requirement is the inverter can operate and then give the continuous current without any problem. The peak requirements are like for short-term requirement, the inverter will be able to supply that current. Similarly, on the battery side, you can see what is the peak and what is the normal capacity, right? And the motor also you have the peak and normal. Now, in your requirement, there are a lot of peak requirement and there are a lot of normal requirement. Say, for example, when the vehicle has to run at the top speed of 150 km/h as per design. So that means all the component has to operate because that is as per requirement, you are supposed to run it. Whereas I need some acceleration power. Say I am running on a highway at full speed and now I am overtaking. So during that overtake phase, it is a short duration. During that short duration, vehicle has to produce high acceleration. And for that, the motor has to provide additional torque, the inverter has to supply more current, and the battery has to discharge a lot of current. So these are all the peak load conditions. And you can clearly see that the peak load condition as per data sheet for the motor, as per the data sheet of the individual cell, as per the data sheet of the inverter, so they have to match to meet that particular requirement. This is exactly I'm trying to talk about the emergence situation here. So the emergence situation goes beyond the component level. That means component may be performing very well, but if you have to meet that particular system level requirement, all the component has to match with that particular requirement. This is exactly the place where system engineering plays a role, and this is a place where the emergence situation comes. There are some kind of a situation where the motor is able to give the torque, but the battery is not able to discharge that current because the temperature is already reached the limit. So you need to identify all these conditions at the time of design. So, and this particular identification of these issues can come only with the system thinking, and system thinking is part of system engineering. So now, the benefit of system engineering is that you can maximize the efficiency, you can have reliability and safety, because all the issues related to reliability and the issues related to safety can be identified very much in the beginning stage itself. Okay, and then of course the cost reduction. Now I am going to give you an example. This is my last slide. How I can reduce the price of a vehicle. This is a typical problem in the industry now, because electric vehicle, as you know, it is at least 40% costlier than an IC engine vehicle. So what are the ways in which I can do that? So this particular problem statement has to be approached from a system angle. Okay, so you just reduce the battery capacity and then reduce the cost. That is not sufficient. You can have so many other factors also influencing the cost of the vehicle. So when it comes to the requirement side, you can see that most of the time we give the worst case scenario and what if kind of a scenario versus the real requirement. Say for example, a vehicle design engineer will tell my vehicle has to have extremely good capability. It should climb a 30-degree climb. for 500 meter, or it should have a speed of 150 kilometer per hour, or it should have a top speed of 150, whatever. So these are all the desired characteristics from a vehicle designer perspective. But actually that may not be the one actually the customer wanted it. So customers say that I want to use my vehicle for my city traffic condition, a speed of 120 km per hour is okay to me, or I will have a battery pack because I am going to travel only 50 km per day. Why should I have a very huge battery pack? This is exactly the place where your design thinking, which is connected with the customer, is going to help you. Because it is not about the perception of the design engineer. What actually you need is what actually the customer wanted it. And this is where design thinking aspects comes into picture, where you can have an optimal size of your battery pack depending upon different requirement, rather than giving the best case scenario for every cases. Weight optimization is extremely important, because if you try to put a lot of requirement on the vehicle, ultimately the battery pack has to give it. So when the battery pack is giving it, battery has to have more kilowatt hour, and more kilowatt hour means more weight. So when you are having more weight, actually, as I told you that this is a dead weight. When the electric vehicle is moving around, it is carrying this weight and draining the battery. So this particular part need to be taken care of. In addition to this, you can also see the last part of the slide. You need to think about what is the efficiency. Efficiency means how much kilometer I can travel per kilowatt hour. And what are all the losses happening over there? The losses are related to aerodynamic improvements, tire rolling resistance, lightweight material, component efficiencies. You can see that so many influencing factor on the efficiency. So if you try to take care of all this particular thing, this is where actually the holistic thinking is helping you. It is not about just reducing the battery pack. You can see that there are a lot of factors over there which you can fine tune to enhance the efficiency. You can also look into different control algorithms. So you have a lot of control algorithms. You can see that in the top graph, you can see the torque speed characteristics of the machine and where you want your drive cycle operating points to be. So it can be fully inside the constant torque region, or it can be fully on the constant power region, or it can be part of that in the constant torque region, part of it in the constant power region. And you have a lot of factors to fine tune to meet your overall performance of the vehicle, where you can enhance the efficiency, and thereby you can reduce the battery size and you can reduce the cost. So that means reducing the cost of the vehicle has so many aspects, and these so many aspects can come into picture only when you do a holistic approach into it. And the emergence function which I am talking about is coming here. So when you are designing, you are actually identifying the emergent functions, because these emergent functions happening when the components are the component level functions, the constraints and boundary conditions, everything. That information is going to give you how should I optimize it. So this is exactly I am trying to tell the and then connecting the entire requirements to the implementation level through a tool. It's not the MATLAB tool I am talking about here. So there are different tools like Door and Rhapsody. These are all the tools where the system level requirements are tracked down to the design level, higher level design level, function level, and then to the implementation level. So everybody working in a global situation, sitting anywhere, will be able to access all this particular traceability, and then they can see what is the system level requirement. Anybody sitting in India, and then what is the system level requirement when I am changing some component, and what are all the places it is going to get impacted. All this is going to help in terms of a robust design. So a system engineer's role in the industry, by now you must have seen that it is not an easy job. It is very challenging job. And typically I have seen people from college reaching to a system engineer role in 5 to 6 years if they are very on a fast track. So he has to do the finalization of the system requirement. You have to look at why a particular machine is chosen, what is the torque, power, speed transferred to wheel, that is basically the drivetrain. And then what are the measures you can take for cost optimization, weight and volume consideration. You need to look into so many aspects. Not necessarily one person should know about it. The system engineering team with a lead should be able to do all this particular functionality. And now here I mentioned only about EV. So once it goes beyond EV, once it is going to the connected vehicle and autonomous vehicle, it becomes much more complex. So conclusions and future direction. So integral role of system engineering, it is very, very crucial as you know it, because EV is an emerging topic and you need to look at various aspects in a systematic manner. And it is going beyond EV now, so then you have to look at the sustainability and efficiency. You need to look at the environmental factors, and you also need to look at when it comes to the future outlook. We are going beyond EV, and then it is going to the EV ecosystem, and then connected and autonomous vehicles and whatever. So call to action is the system engineering as a topic, whatever I mentioned, in my opinion, need to be part of academic curriculum, so that the students have learned a lot of things with respect to power electronics, motor and so many things. So this particular system thinking part of it has to be introduced in academic level itself is one of the recommendation over there, and encourage continuous learnings for this. And then I have given a lot of references over here and some of my papers along with Dr. Shankar Venugopal in Mahindra. Actually, we are writing a series of articles on system engineering approach to EV design, and there is a course available in I think it is in MIT, yes, and there is a, because system engineering approach is thoroughly followed in the aeronautical industries, all these approaches which I spoke about, whereas automotive industry is falling behind. So the aeronautical engineers, along with MIT university professors, they together have created some curriculum, and it is available. You can search in the website, and they are bringing the system engineering concept into automotive, which is going to be an extremely important topic for the future. So that concludes my presentation. Hello.
The floor is now open for the audience to interact with the speakers. If any audience member has any question, the volunteers will pass the mic to you if you kindly raise your hand. Participants, any questions?
Yeah, was there any break in my presentation or?
No, sir, no breaks further.
Okay, great. So, any questions? How many of you are motivated to become system engineers?
Participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hands now. Since we do not have any questions, the EEE Department of MBCET would like to express our most sincere gratitude to Mr. Pradeep Kumar Keloth for his profound words on the topic of electric vehicle design and system engineering. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks all of you. Thanks for listening.